Hi, hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Today I want to talk about the India's anti-crypto bill and what does it mean for privacy coins like Monero. So specifically, right, India has actually proposed an anti-crypto bill that is super strict. What happened is they have even very insane and very strict 10-year jail sentence for anyone who is known to mine, generate, wholesale, transfer, dispose, issue, or deal in cryptocurrencies directly or indirectly. This is super strict, right? But the thing is, they still haven't formally passed this law, but it has been proposed, right? Whether this goes through or not, it will be interesting to see. But my sense is that, right, so for all along, they have been actually very strict. They really fear crypto, and that's why they have been clamping down, despite it being not even declared illegal in the past, right? The government has banned the banks from, disallowing any of the bank's customers to actually have any dealings with crypto at all. They basically, if you have crypto, you cannot open a bank account, or if you have already a bank account and if you deal in crypto, you buy, transfer your money to buy crypto, your account will be banned, will basically be deactivated. That's what basically how serious they are. But my sense is that, right, yes, they are. Why they're doing this is that because they plan to launch their own digital currency, rupee. But at the same time, I think whether they will eventually do it, my sense is no, right? I think what happened is it's just like China, where in April they have said that they are looking into again a proposed bill to try to ban crypto mining, Bitcoin mining, but then they have 1 month to decide, but then there's still no news till now. So I think it is more a scare tactic than anything else, right? But still, this bill, right, is going to be very positive for privacy coins like Monero and Dash, and specifically for Monero. And this video is actually more on Monero. Why do I say that? There is a research report, right? This is published last year by Satis Group that actually based on and you can actually read the research report here in the link, which I will also put in the description below, where Monero at that time in last year was $100 or so. They predicted, using their bottom up and top down model, that they predict that it will be 18k, right? That's like 18,000% increase, right, over 5 years time. So they're talking about 2023, it will increase to 18,000 from just $100 today. So talk about really outsized returns, and that's exactly what they see Bitcoin, it's like the previous version of Bitcoin, how it has risen from hundreds of dollars to today, right, the thousands of dollars, that kind of gains. Now, why is Monero so why is this kind of gains predicted? What are their theses, right? So first and foremost is, of course, of their privacy nature. Why is that? Because it is so see, a lot of people for now, they do not really value the privacy nature of coins, right? And a lot of people still think that Bitcoin is anonymous, but it is not true. So Bitcoin, you can still basically know who sent money to whom, right? If you really want to trace out the transaction flow of Bitcoin transactions, you can still find out from which address it goes to whom. And then if you really want to trace back the address to IP, it still can be done, yeah? Now, and because of that, then if you want something really private, and for people in India, what hopes do they have if they still want to engage in crypto, and if that bill was really passed, right, then their only hope is to adopt something like a privacy coins like Monero and Zcash. Zcash is still not preferred versus Monero because Zcash is by default, this is not privacy coin. That means by default it is still anonymous. No, it is still a transparent coin, but you have to turn something on. You have to turn a feature on to make it anonymous. So a lot of people do not know that, and that is why Zcash, in that sense, and only currently 5% of the Zcash coins are fully anonymous. So in that sense, Monero is easier because by default, you don't have to do anything. It is already private. Now, Monero will be especially demanded in cases like this, where if India really passes the bill of this very strict anti-crypto bill, then privacy coins will be really, really in demand. And currently, it is still, a lot of people still do not fully understand the merits of a fully privacy thing, right? Because so many people still like to post things on Facebook, on open network, open social media network, right? But when something happened to them, right, then they would then realize the importance and merits of privacy. And there comes into the point, right, where there have been people who actually legally they have to buy prescriptive medicine, right? That means they really need those medicine on dark nets because it is cheaper there, and they can literally buy that. But they use Monero to buy those, they use Bitcoin to buy those, and because of Bitcoin, right, they're still able to trace back, and the government have actually caught them, or fined them money because they use crypto in the dark net. Although this is for the legal means, right, but it is still not allowed, right, although it's cheaper. So something like a privacy coin will work very, very well in this kind of cases, right? And then similarly as well, for governments or even for very, very, very rich people, right, who are really, really, have a lot of riches, if they want to hide their wealth, right, what better way it is really to go via something really, really private like a privacy coin. So therein brings the hypothesis that, right, it is very, very unlikely that a privacy coin will be banned by government because, there are important use cases in privacy coins. So for example, right, if government want to pay their secret agents, secret spies, right, this is one way they can definitely use for it, right? So yes, they can ban it if they really want to, but do they want to? That is the key question, right? So the probability is very low, and this research also touch on a lot of that. And the other thing is this, because currently not a lot of people realizes yet, right, how important privacy is. And that is why privacy is something that is very, very undervalued, right? Just like in the early days when you want to talk about Facebook popularity, advertising on Facebook, right? That is basically undervalued. But now, if you go in then early to use Facebook to advertise, then actually you are already, you have a lot of leeway, you have a lot of people will know you. But now, because we're already so late in the game, that to advertise on Facebook is very, very costly. Similarly here, now we are still in the very early days of privacy. A lot of people do not yet realize the merits of privacy. So in that sense, right, privacy is definitely an underpriced property now in the crypto world. So because of that, the upside potential for a truly private coin like Monero is really, really astounding. Yeah. And the other point is this, that because the other thing is Monero has a very strong team of developers, right, who many of them continue to remain anonymous. That's very good. The other thing is on Bitcoin. Why? So in terms of feature, Monero is very, very similar to Bitcoin. It is mined, right, and it is around the 21 million units. So there is a cap supply, but even to the end of so this chart shows you the differences between Bitcoin and Monero. So the plus point about Monero is versus Bitcoin is, the other thing is that even up to the end of 2022, right, where the stop mining, there will still be 0.3 units of Monero being added every minute. That means there still be very, very small amount of Monero being mined, being possible to be added to the supply, but at a very, very slow rate, right, that continue to incentivize miners. So that is something very different, right? And the other thing is, of course, right, the transaction is completely anonymous, is concealed from public. So transaction example, what it means is that in the Monero case, you don't know who sent to whom, right, and you don't know how much. Whereas in Bitcoin case, you actually, if someone want to really do a very detailed chain analysis, they can know that Alice sends 1 BTC to Bob. Yeah. And in terms of market cap, of course, it is super small. Monero is like the 13th coin in terms of market cap today, right? So of course, it is untraceable. Now, the other thing about Bitcoin versus Monero is that, so the other thing is about them is that, right, Bitcoin, right, it is not truly fungible. What it means is that because, Bitcoin has in the past, some of the Bitcoins has been in the past been used to purchase things on darknet, on, dark webs, on, on illegal websites like Silk Road. And those coins, right, if they can trace it back, then they basically will be worth less than something that is purely mined, right? That has not gone through the kind of dark web transactions in certain cases like in an exchange. So in that case, Bitcoin is not truly fungible in that sense, though there's a process to clean your Bitcoin that we will cover in another video. So whereas in Monero, because it's all private, you do not know what Monero has gone through, where have people spent Monero. So in that sense, Monero is truly fungible, and this is the one big property that Monero has its upside against Bitcoin, right? So, and that is why it is no surprise why institutional research firms like Satis Group, right, that is formerly from Wall Street analysts, they actually are predicting this kind of 18,000% increase over the next 5 years. Yeah, so that's what I have for today, right? And I hope you like this. Subscribe, right, and let me know what you think. Yeah, so yes, and today price is only $80, still very worthwhile. And if this is true, right, and even if they are not true, if only 10% true, you still have a very huge upside ahead. Again, not financial advice, but just that this news about India anti-crypto bill that are being proposed really bring to, it's almost like awakening that privacy coins are going to be very important. Yeah, so that's what I have for today. Thank you so much for your time, and wish you all the best. Thank you.